Hey everyone, welcome once again to Prof. Dan Tutorials. Today's video is packed with what I tag the 10 commandments to ensure your USCIS application gets processed smoothly. Now, from choosing the correct paper size for your documents to submitting the right documents, there are many small but critical details that can make or break your immigration petition package. Now, did you know that submitting double-sided forms or using highlighters can even lead to your application being delayed or even rejected? So stay tuned because I will be breaking down each of these key commandments and showing you how you as a self-petitioner in particular can avoid them. Now, whether you're filing for a visa, a green card, or another USCIS form, this video will guide you through every step, giving you key commandments. So don't miss a thing, watch till the very end. Of course, I want to give a very big shout out to those who have subscribed to this channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. If this is your first time you are listening or watching Prof. Dan, please press the subscribe button to support this channel. To all our esteemed viewers across the globe, in particular, Pakistan, United States, and Nigeria, thank you, United Kingdom as well. Thank you so much. If you are again watching for the very first time, anywhere you are across the globe, please subscribe, share with your loved ones, and support Prof. Dan Tutorials. All right, so the very first thing to talk about here in today's video is number one, all forms must be single-sided and letter size 8.5 by 11 inches. That's very simple though. Now, this is crucial because USCIS, if you do not know, let me tell you, USCIS uses standardized equipment to scan your documents. So when you package and send your document to USCIS, take notes, USCIS use an equipment to scan all your documents. So using other sizes or double-sided documents may result in processing delays, and there might even be an overlook. Maybe the front page has been scanned, the other page, the officer perhaps doesn't know. So to avoid that, just print all your documents single side on one side only. So take note, sending double-sided copies could lead to even errors in document scanning. So you want to avoid that. Another important thing is avoid submitting digital media or bulky items. Now, items like flash drives, I'm saying this because few persons, which I know of, have made this mistake before. So items like flash drives or scrapbooks cannot be processed. So take note of that. Always stick to standard paper documents. Yes, you can have footnotes references in your documents, as some people have done that before. If you check your Word documents, there's insert footnotes. You can have all of that in some cases, but I would still advise you print out important ones. Don't just use only footnotes or put in the website or something like that. Now, if the document is bulky for the ones you want to print out, you can just print few pages that is most important and referenced in your write-up. If you have like a white paper from White House or government established agencies or non-government organization, things like that, running up to like 50 pages as an exhibit, you could decide to print maybe, the summary page, the first page, the first, middle, and last, or any other pages that you see is referring to what you are writing about. Another important thing is the next one, send legible copies, not originals, unless it is requested. So originals are only requested in specific situations, and most likely people that are doing adjustment of status. So if you send them without request, sending originals without request, USCIS may destroy them. So be careful. Now, if they ask for an original birth certificate, for example, that's during adjustment of status, send it. Otherwise, only send copies. Only if it is requested of you. If it's not requested, send copies, not originals. Now, if it's educational credentials during the initial EB2 or let's say the EB1A filing, only send clear copies, not originals. Now, still on copies, people ask, should it be black and white? Should it be colored printing? Documents, things like that. Now, there are black and whites that are clear, very clear. That's okay. There are colored that are very clear. That's okay. It doesn't have to be color as a must. If your black and white is clear enough, all good. There are some documents you want to print though that there might be color difference and you want to show those color maybe in your petition, something like that. So if that's the case, then just do color printing. Otherwise, black and white is fine. In all, when you print all of these things, just make sure it is clear. It is very clear. Another important commandment is ensure legibility and clarity in all forms. Ensure legibility. What do I mean by that? Typed forms are preferred. Now, when you look at most of these forms, when you download them from the USCIS website, you see they're in PDF formats and editable PDF formats that you can type in electronically. That's always my first preference to, petitioners. Type in all fields that you can. So fill the form electronically. Now, for areas you can't type in, there are some of these forms, yeah. There are some sections that you try to type is not going through. So what can you do? You can use text box. If you're using PDF, Adobe, for example, you look at some of the tools, you will see text box, click on the text box, put it on the section you want to type in. You will be able to type in, expand it, things like that. You can do that. Now, if that's still not possible, if you must handwrite, ensure it is clear. If you have a bad handwriting, please make sure you use a very good and legible handwriting to write things out if you have to do that. In the aspect of pen, people have said, should I use red pen? Can I use yellow pen? Things like that. I must tell you, all the facts I give to you are from directly USCIS source. What USCIS says is use black or dark blue ink. That's from official USCIS source. So that's the same thing I'm going to reiterate to you. If you have to write, make sure it is black or a dark blue ink to avoid smudging. Now, forms that are difficult to read, take notes, it can delay your process. That's why we say type in electronically, use text box. For very few sections that you can't type in or use text box, then use, and illegible handwriting. Next one is not applicable for non-applicable questions. So this is simple but important. So example, if a form asks for a spouse information and you are single, so just simply enter non-applicable. There are several forms that those that file for EB29W always fill. That's ETA 9089. And there are some of these questions, three of them, I mean, one of them has most of the responses for self-petitioners to be non-applicable. In that instance, it doesn't matter, just put non-applicable. And that's it. However, I want to quickly say something here. If the pages is, let's say, 2 pages, 7 pages, and in page 2 of 7 or 3 of 7, you didn't really respond anything other than non-applicable, that doesn't mean you should skip any of these pages. Print all of the pages out when you are submitting, even if you did not fill some part. Even if it's only page 1 of 7 or page 7 of 7 you fill, print all of the pages, include them. And there are some cases, for example, from I-140, many of you will not fill anything on the page 7 of 7 if you check the form. Still ensure you include it. Don't say because I didn't put in anything on page 7 of 7 or from I-140, then you print only page 1 of 7 and stop at page 6 of 7. No, don't do that. Print all the pages involved. Another important thing is that provide a reliable mailing address. Now, USCIS will use this address for all communications. So example, a mistake in your mailing address could lead to mixed deadline. So you don't want to mix anything from USCIS. Ensure you use a reliable mailing address. And if using a different mailing address, please include in care of or C/O in care of. Now, if the mailing address is different from where you reside, include the name of the primary residence. Now, example, if you are using your friend's address, from some of you filing from abroad, some of you use US mailing address, and it doesn't belong to you. That address is for your friend. So in that case, it's okay. It's not a problem in as much as you trust the person is your friend, you trust the person, use the correct address, ensure you put in care of or C/O in the fields to avoid confusion when you put that mailing address in care of. It's very important. And it's okay, those of you filing from abroad, if you use your friends, family, uh, mailing address in the US, just ensure they are aware. And once they get or receive any mail from USCIS, they can scan it and send it to you so you can have a copy and see whatever it's saying. It's timely. That can be really helpful compared to USIS having to send your, mail to your home country. Anything can happen along the line. So that's a possibility of what you can actually do. But if you don't have anyone, yes, use your home country mailing address, but make sure it is correct. Sign and date the form. So this is another important thing. Now, this may seem obvious, like of course I have to sign and date, but many applications have actually been rejected due to missing signatures. In fact, many applications have been returned because of missing signatures. So any form you are filling, any form you are filling, you're filing, ensure in the place that requires your signature and the dates, make sure you put that and make sure your signature is handwritten in most cases. I do know that some of you have electronic gadget that you can use to, append your signature. Make sure the signature is legible enough. Ensure all pages are visible, including page numbers and edition dates. So at the bottom, like a footnote of each of the forms you're filling, you will see the edition date, you will see the page number, you will see those informations. When you print out, please ensure those things are there. Now, there are situations where printing out will cut out those information. Please do not send those kind of forms. Make sure your forms have the page number and the edition dates. It's very, very important. Now, that can help USCIS, of course, to track the most recent version of the form you are using and also, ensure you are using the correct form edition. Now, another important thing is that do not use highlighters or correction fluid. If some persons have used all of these things before and they scaled through, their petition wasn't rejected, it's all good. However, I'm telling you that this is the best and standard practice. So highlighted or corrected areas may not scan properly. So if you need to make corrections, fill out a new form rather than using correction fluid just to avoid unnecessary delay. What works for Mr. A might not work for Mr. B afterwards. So make sure you are on the good side. Pay each filing fee separately. So each fee must be processed individually to ensure proper intake. So don't try to bundle payment together, as this could also delay the processing of your forms. For example, for self-petitioners of EB2NIW, and you have to pay for the Form I-140 fee, you have to pay for the Asylum Program fee, and for those of you doing premium processing, you have to pay for that. All of this payment, try to pay them separately with proper labels and everything. Now, for those of you, perhaps this is your first time, you're confused, like, oh, you need further understanding about all of these things. Check out Prof. Dan YouTube videos, playlists. There's playlist on EB2NIW, there's playlist on EB1. You will see many videos of different episodes that can really help you, that have tackled majority, at least 99% of everything needed for a successful petition. And use the complete USCIS address, including apostrophe attention line. When you want to put the address of where you are mailing to and the likes, ensure you use the correct thing. Now, these are yeah, that's really very important. Ensure you use the correct address, and use only USPS or FedEx, DHL, or UPS. If you also check from the USCIS source about where to file, the address to file, there is also a video on that. If you want to know the correct address you should use, especially those of you filing from abroad, those of you within the US, there are different categories based on states of where you intend to work, or perhaps based on uh, the type of processing you're doing, if it's normal processing or premium processing, or you are filing from I-140 with adjustment of status from I-485 at the same time, or you are doing all that with premium processing. So depending on your case, so there is no single address that is correct for all. So it depends on you, the self-petitioner. Which one are you doing? Are you doing only I-140 normal processing, or you are doing I-140 and I-485? Or you're doing all that with I-907 premium processing? All of that factors play into which address you will use. And the address is split between if you are using USPS delivery service, or you are using the second category, FedEx, DHL, or UPS. Again, there are separate video on all of these things on Prof. Dan YouTube channel. So that is that about it in this video, though it's about key important things that people overlook, but I hope it's really meaningful and helpful to help you in your immigration petition. Of course, wishing you all the best, getting your approval, moving to the next stage, doing your adjustment of status or your consular processing, and of course, becoming a permanent resident of the US, which is really, really exciting and a great thing. So I wish you all the best. Subscribe if you haven't. Share the video to your loved ones, people that might, find it very useful, and support Prof. Dan tutorials. So peace out and see you again in another video. Take care and bye-bye.